windier than the son of a gun this morning, so and I'm going to be all day today, so I'm inside the shop working on a few things. I recently went to Walmart, made a purchase of several of these game cameras. They had them on sale for about $47 and some change. I bought 5 of them. I've had a boatload of these over the years and have had them out in the woods, primarily up on these ridge tops, and I've gotten a lot of pictures of some really nice deer, tons of deer, lots of turkey, and raccoons and occasionally an odd and end possum or a coyote or what have you. I've never gotten a bobcat, but I've been very inconsistent in keeping these cameras up and running out in the woods, and I've always had them around the cabin and the shop and along the drive-in just for security purposes, even though we really don't need that. We've never had any problem back here. We're very secluded. It's one way in, one way out, and I don't suspect we ever will. But at any rate, I've always had those up, and I do get some animals in front of those sometimes as well. But one of the things I've been wanting to do for several years is go down in some of these deep woods, way down in these ravines where the brush is thick, where it's steep and rocky, and there's really not any reason for any human beings to be down in there. And in fact, some of these places, I've never walked on them. We've owned this place 24 years, and or I have, but years ago. It's been a long, long time. One of the things that I've always been interested in is or oddities, anomalies, things in nature that are unique. We have many of you might have heard about somebody supposedly. I think this is accurate. I have never researched it to find out, but somebody killed a 800-pound feral hog several years ago called Hogzilla. I think that was somewhere in Arkansas. It could have been Missouri. But in any event, for sure, I know we have feral hogs. We've got all kinds in these Missouri Oak Hickory woods. We've got every kind of small critter you can imagine, from groundhogs and possums and raccoons. Don't have very many rabbits. I probably have seen 20, 25 rabbits in 24 years we've had this place, which is a shame. I love rabbits, but for whatever reason, we don't have many of them at all. Of course, tons of squirrels. That's why we call it the Squirrel Ranch. Deer and turkey and coyotes and bobcats and bears. I've got a bear at least a couple of times, 2 or 3 pictures on a game camera of bears. Although I've never seen a mountain lion out here, a friend of my brother's, whenever we first bought the place in 1997, he brought him out turkey hunting that next spring, and he saw a mountain lion. Even though I know a lot of folks would say mountain lions aren't in Missouri, don't exist in Missouri and Arkansas, for a fact, people have had encounters with them, or at least seen them. They've been found dead a few times along the highway where they got hit by a vehicle. Folks have them on game cameras, and I'm not afraid of being in the woods. I grew up in the woods and spent a tremendous amount of time. But being in the woods at night in some of these real deep, dark areas in these ravines and along these hillsides and all, I'd be lying if I said I'd feel real comfortable being down in there at night by myself. When you have things that potentially could kill you, given the right set of circumstances, even though black bears around here, they want nothing to do with human beings. Mountain lions, no doubt, if it knows you're a human being, probably wants nothing to do with you. It is extremely rare for somebody to get attacked by a bobcat or a coyote, but we've got feral hogs, we've got feral dogs. I know more than one fellow who's been bow hunting and creeping through the woods to a stand and encountered a pack of feral dogs, dogs that have been born in the wild or gone wild, and that's pretty scary to think about that. So anyway, my objective is to set up a bunch of these game cameras down these ridge side of these hills from the top down to the bottom. And I'm going to try to find out what moves along those areas that we never see. And no doubt, it's not hard to believe that there would be animals that go their entire lifetime without ever seeing a human being, or at least without being seen by a human being. And I think it'd be pretty cool to find out, hey, we've got something unique. We've got a big old fill in the blank with whatever it is you want. Now, I'm not looking for Sasquatch or Bigfoot or whatever. We'll leave that to the professionals. I know there's a lot of folks hard at work and have been trying to get something more than just a distant, grainy picture of Bigfoot or Sasquatch. And I'm excited for the day whenever somebody just, he happens to, or one of them happens to stumble in front of one of these game cameras, one of these, no doubt, millions of these that are out in the woods. It's amazing how evasive those darn Bigfoots are. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm gonna get these cameras up and going. If this wind lets off a little bit, I'll get down in the woods today and get these set up. And then every few days, I'm gonna go down in there and check the SD cards on them and see what we've got. And I'll share that with you as time goes on. But I appreciate you tuning in. I'm gonna get back to doing some a little bit more organizing here in the shop. Before I open up the other 4 packages of these game cameras, I'm gonna go back here behind the cabin a little ways and set this camera up on a prominent game trail. And I see deer back there all the time. So, well, not all the time, but quite often, coming in and out of the woods right there. So anyway, I'm gonna set this one camera up there. I wanna see what happens. And it says it's 1080. 1080. That should be pretty good, but we'll find out. More than anything, just want to make sure it's pretty decent quality picture, and also want to check to see how quickly it takes a second picture. Like I say, I've had so many of these game cameras that some of them work. Well, you get what you pay for, and that's probably what I'll have here too. We'll see. So I set one of those game cameras up. I got it up and programmed and ready to go, and I set it up back here not too far behind the cabin, and I want to check it out for a few days and see what the quality pictures are that it takes, and particularly at night on the night shots. That's what I'm most interested in. So I'll keep you posted. We'll see how it goes.